Today, we will be diving into the world of conspiracy theories as we take a look at predictive programming. What is that, you may ask? Well, predictive programming is a theory that the government or people of power are using movies, shows, or even books to prepare us for the future. They have planned these future events and show it in the media years before it happens.
If you're a conspiracy theorist, this most definitely is the video for you. From predictions of what our world may look like one day to potential predictions of some of our most horrible and catastrophic world events. Today's list is definitely going to be an eerie one as we dive into the top 10 scary examples of predictive programming. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have The Hunger Games. Okay, so this one is a little different from most of the other ones on today's list, and that is because of the fact that this is an example that people believe is going to come true, but hasn't yet. The Hunger Games is based in a horrifying dystopian future where the government has way too much power and America is split into districts where there is an annual fight to the death between two sacrifices from each district for one lone victor. A great movie? Yes. A terrifying concept when thinking about it actually coming true? Also yes. Because of the immersive and captivating nature of the films, many people out there believe that it is easily distracting, and that makes the consumers less likely to be aware that we are so accepting of this potential totalitarian future. There is a belief that these movies, despite the central storyline, are telling us to cooperate, not to rebel, and that our technological advancements are going to land us in this horrible world the movie is set in. I'm not so sure about the yearly fight to the death and what people are saying about that one, though.
Moving on to number 9, we have the robot takeover. There have been a number of shows and movies that depict robots taking over the world. Rumor has it that these are to prepare us for future advancements in technology, and so that we get used to the fact that robots are now going to be like a societal norm. For example, the 2002 film Minority Report prepared us for driverless cars, facial recognition, and personalized advertising. Star Trek familiarized us with the idea of a handheld communication device way before cell phones were introduced. And shows and movies like WALL-E, RoboCop, and even Futurama are preparing us for the advancements of AI technology and robots. I mean, robots are already taking over people's jobs. These films were trying to warn us that this would happen and help us adjust to the idea so that, we don't freak out as much when it happens.
In our number 8 spot today, we have The Simpsons. The Simpsons are known for their seemingly unbelievable ability to predict the future events, but maybe something more sinister is at play? We've made a ton of lists about The Simpsons predictions already, so let's just dive into one that may be an example of predictive programming, and that is the faulty voter machines. In season 20, episode 4, which is the 19th Treehouse of Horror episode, Homer goes into the voting booth as the episode was tied to the 2008 US presidential election, and he finds that when he's trying to vote for former President Barack Obama, the machine miscounts his vote and actually gives the vote to John McCain. Well, this did end up happening in real life, but not until 4 years later in the 2012 election. And that year, a video went viral of a voting machine in Pennsylvania doing the same thing in the election between former President Barack Obama and Mitt Romney.
In our 7th spot today, we have the Ebola Outbreak. Back in 2014, South Park released an episode titled Gluten-Free Ebola, which was season 18's second episode. Well, in the episode, residents of the town start to die from violent gluten-related deaths. In the same week that episode was aired, an Ebola strain was discovered and multiple people contracted the virus. In fact, people were so freaked out about this prediction that people went on saying that this is evidence of the Illuminati, or something like that. Now, why would someone want us to get used to mass outbreaks like Ebola before they happen? I don't know, man. It's a form of mass mind control. Maybe it's to help relieve some of the panic so things don't get too bad, like toilet paper flying off the shelves. Too soon? Probably. It just sounds crazy, I know, but some people truly believe this. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments below.
In our number 6 spot today, we have The Knowing. In the 2009 science fiction thriller, which stars Nicolas Cage, we see a scene where he is watching the news as a horrible incident of an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico is exploding and being engulfed in flames. Well, not too long after this movie came out, in April of 2010, there was an oil rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico that claimed the lives of 11 people and was the worst marine oil spill in history, which is never a record we ever want to beat. I'm not going to lie, I haven't actually watched the movie myself, so I'm not exactly sure if that news broadcast is central to the film's plot, but if it is not, Even I can admit that's a bit of a random coincidence. I would hope that something so dangerous and detrimental wouldn't have been a planned incident, but who am I to say? This is an example of potential predictive programming that has been discussed by many conspiracy theorists, including none other than Alex Jones himself.
We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the London attacks. In 2004, a BBC program titled Panorama: London Under Attack was a drama documentary all about what would happen if there was an attack in London. It was all fictional, like a what if. In the documentary, they show a fake scenario where terrorists detonate 3 bombs on the London Underground and a 4th on the streets above. Well, 1 year later, this happened in real life. On July 7th, 2005, a series of 4 attacks were carried out by terrorists in London. 3 bombs were detonated on the London Underground and a 4th on the streets above, just like in the documentary. Apparently, according to some people, this documentary was conditioning us for the events that would take place on July 7th.
In our number 4 spot today, we have COVID. There are quite a few examples that people believe were predictive programming in reference to the COVID-19 pandemic we're all still living through right now. I'm at home. To start off with, we have an episode of Project Runway that aired in April of 2019.
Loved COVID's look.
Do you mind putting your mask back on?
Thank you.
I had not noticed COVID's detail, this 3D applique.
Then we have the song Pandemic by the artist DJ Creep. This song was released in 2013, and yet it features the lyrics 2020 combined with coronavirus, bodies stacking. That certainly is one heck of a coincidence. And then just one more for good measure, we have the movie Contagion, which was released in 2011. This movie is quite commonly referred to as the movie that predicted COVID, and I can kind of understand why. They use the phrase social distancing in this movie, which is the first time I personally had ever heard that phrase used, and I didn't hear it again until our pandemic in real life started. Maybe we just got our inspiration from the movie? Or maybe something darker really is at play.
In our 3rd spot today, we have aliens. Do you believe in aliens? I mean, with everything going on right now with Area 51 and the Pentagon, there's a high chance that aliens or ETs might be real, okay? I don't know what to think anymore. And theory goes that all these alien shows and movies have been preparing us for this real possibility. I mean, there are thousands of shows about aliens or that feature aliens as characters, like American Dad, Paul, the series Alien, E.T., Men in Black, you get it. Even Scooby-Doo had a whole space alien movie. It was good, by the way, I love Scooby-Doo. Conspiracy theorists believe that all these alien-based shows and films and books are a way for us to get used to the idea of aliens arriving on Earth. Maybe the government is slowly trying to make us aware of aliens, and this is their method of doing so. It's their way of slowly integrating aliens into our everyday life. Either way, I don't like it, unless they are friendly and, chill. But so help me, if zombies are next, I'm done. Like, the aliens can take me with them to space.
In our number 2 spot today, we have the Illuminati card game. This game is now out of print, but originally showed up sometimes in the 90s and is called Illuminati New World Order. Despite the years it's been since the game's release, it has managed to continue to attract people's interest and honestly creates a bit of a feeling of unease due to its eerie predictions. The game seemingly predicted many major events, from 9/11 to former President Trump's election to the pandemic and even apparently the riot at Capitol Hill. The game was released by Steve Jackson Games, and while it is entirely possible that these cards are just general enough that we can tag them onto the happenings of our current world, with how many potential predictions this game has, coupled with the name of the game, it does make you think. Honestly, they may have predicted more than The Simpsons, and that really is saying something.
And in our number 1 spot today, we have the Titanic. This one is about to blow your mind, okay? Buckle that seatbelt. There's a novel from 1898 titled The Wreck of the Titan, or Futility. The book is about a giant unsinkable ship with not enough lifeboats that crashes into an iceberg and sinks 400 nautical miles from Newfoundland. What was the ship's name? The Titan. Sound familiar? Exactly like the 1912 Titanic tragedy, where the Titanic, a giant unsinkable ship with 2 little lifeboats, crashes into an iceberg and also sinks 400 nautical miles from Newfoundland. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Too many eerie coincidences there. So people believe that that book was preparing people for the future Titanic tragedy. Mind blown. I'm in disbelief. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below. Like, tell us which one of these things freaked you out the most. Do you believe in predictive programming? Let us know in the comments below.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski.
I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye.
Bye.